Hello and welcome to Magical Curiosities. Today we're going to make some mermaid wands. Mermaid, sea witch, whatever you want to call them. They are super great for birthday parties, for little girls, big girls, for bridal themed, mermaid themed bridal parties and things like that. They're super fun, and just for playing around or for your altar if that's your thing too. And I am really sorry that I haven't put this out sooner. I know a lot of you have been asking for more videos, and especially this video, and I haven't had a chance to edit because my kids have been using the computer for at-home learning ever since the coronavirus, and then mental health before that and things like that. But they're pretty much done with school, so I have a chance to do some more editing for you now that summer is here. I'm so excited about that. Well, let's get started learning how to make these wands. First thing to do is get your shells, and you might already have some, or if you don't, dollar store is a great place to find shells. They only have a limited amount and type, but if they don't have the ones you like, you can find more at the craft store, or online you can order exactly which ones you want. The ones at the craft store come in big bags, and sometimes the ones you want are like all crushed, so sometimes ordering online might be more expensive but better. So I just go through and kind of make a design by looking at them and trying to figure out how I want to put them together. By placing them around each other. This one's going to be really simple that we'll start off with. It's just two clamshell type looking ones. I don't know what they're called, but these kinds stuck together. And then I use black hot glue, and I also use a very, very high temperature, heavy duty glue gun because it's just easier. Like the glue comes out faster. That's not great for little kids to use if they're helping you. But if you're doing it yourself, just spend $3 more on a better glue gun. They're just so much faster. Also more dangerous though, so be careful. So I'm putting the black glue in there, and you can get black glue on Amazon. Just search black hot glue. And I prefer the black because then there's less worry about painting all the tiny little details, especially for this kind. The shells have so many little details if you're doing a lot of shells on them. I do the spiral technique by just putting something on it and twirling it. I didn't like how it was really not very thick at the top, so I ended up putting up a little bit more glue here at the top. But then I decided to add more shells to it anyway, so the spirals get kind of disappeared. But it's a great way to kind of even out the glue distribution too. So we've got the glue on there. Then I have a bunch of little shells, little tiny ones, or I guess these ones are little medium ones. I just stick them on here and there. And hot glue, if it's a shiny, smooth surface, will not stick very well. So you want to make sure that you're kind of getting these embedded in there with kind of a bezel going around the top, so that they're really gripping on them physically, not just the stickiness of the hot glue, because the stickiness of the hot glue is not what holds it on. It's more of a physical hold. So make sure that there's some sort of physical hold. Okay, so I start on a new one. I'm just sticking a whole bunch of glue on the inside because I'm going to stick the rod right inside. And these are just like wooden dowels. When you look at the thickness of your wooden dowel, just kind of think, okay, if my kid or whoever's going to be holding this dropped it or hit someone with it or hit a table with it, is it going to snap in half? And if it is, don't get it that thin. A lot of people use, what are they called, chopsticks, and those are great because then you don't have to sand the bottom. But just make sure you get thick chopsticks, because that's why I haven't used them in the past, because the ones that I knew about were really small, but apparently you can get really bigger, thicker ones, and so that might be something worth trying. I have a bunch of these little shells, and I love just to kind of like put shells wherever. It's kind of an organic method. I don't really plan it out too much in advance. I just kind of sit there and stick things on. If you're going to put on pearls, which I absolutely love with this type of thing, go for the ones from the floral section of the craft store that have the wire on them, or if you have little pearls at home already, stick some wire in them and then twist it around the back so that they have something to grip to. If you just stick a pearl in it and then cover up the holes, you know, where the where the stuff goes through, the pearls will just pop right out. They are so smooth and they will just pop right out. I promise that this will happen. It's happened to me. Don't even bother like just sticking pearls in there. I've seen a lot of people do this on like mermaid crowns I've seen online, and yeah, it looks great until you use it and they pop out. So put a little wire in there so they have a physical hold, okay? And then once they're in, you kind of go back with your glue gun and cover up the wire so that it's not seen anymore. So there we go. Going back and covering up the wire, sticking more in, etc., etc. Here's a better close-up of just covering those wires up. And then for the shells, if they haven't really been stuck in there with a good place where there's lots of texture, then you can give them a little bit more of a bezel or grip. You can see there's water on my wand because I had dunk it. If you dunk it in water, it kind of freezes where it's at. Just like if you were working with like molten lava, or not molten lava, molten metal, they kind of quench it. You can quench it to kind of hold it where it is. And then I just take the glue and I'm kind of working down at the bottom so it has that nice like tapered shape to it. And that's one thing I love about working with the hot glue with this, is because I kind of like to imagine that these are metal and that they were made out of like a molten metal and just kind of, you know, melted on to these shells. So I decided to use these pokey ones, which might not be the best feeling in the hand. Maybe that's not the best idea, but I think they're kind of fun. They've got these spiky ones. I'm trying to figure out like which ones to put together, and I ended up, I think, choosing in the end like all three of the same spiky ones. I'm like, if it's going to be spiky, you may as well just put all spiky ones on. So maybe that one's good for like a sea witch type thing, because it is a little bit, it's not the most ergonomic. So I glued them on, but I also attached them with wire just to make sure they were on real good, because I wasn't going to put a lot of glue up on the thick part, just down on the thin part. And then I kind of cover up the areas in the middle to give it a good grip. Just kind of tapering the glue down. This is why the really heavy duty glue guns are great, because otherwise this takes a lot of hand power. Your hand will get sore from squeezing if you have the ones that are more craft level instead of heavy duty, because you just have to push really hard to get any glue out that fast. So get those ones that push it out fast, that get it really super hot, so that you can do that without hurting your hand. So I just used the end of the glue gun to make that spiral, and I think the spiral goes really well with the look of the sea wands, because that's kind of the shape of a lot of the seashells, so it kind of echoes the seashell shapes that you're familiar with. Then, because I use wooden dowels instead of chopsticks, I then go back and like sand the end of it so that it's got this rounded point. So it's safe, but it's still pointed. You don't want just like a hard end to it. I then go back to all the wands and I paint them with a matte black. The matte black just is a really good undersurface for the metal look. It just makes all the metal shininess just shine better. Everything looks better with black under it. And I like the matte black because, you know, when things get dirty in the little cracks, they don't have shininess, they have a matte to them. But this is where the black hot glue comes in handy, because if you do miss some of it, it's not as big of a deal, especially where you have all these tiny details with the little tiny shells and all the stuff along the shaft. Then it's nice to have the hot glue, and just getting up close to the shell is easier to paint as well when you have the black hot glue. So for the style of this, I like to look like it's like this bronze that's been weathered by the salt sea. So I want it to look really oxidized. So I get this kind of blue color. You can get kind of green, put white in it. Maybe let's like Google some oxidized bronze pictures if you want to see what colors you might want to use. And then you put that on wet and get it into the cracks, and then take a wet cloth, or I use baby wipes, and then just wipe it off all of the other surfaces. Then, maybe go touch it up in places that maybe wiped off a little too much. You want to get up by the shell too, which is a little bit, you need to be a little more careful there. Sorry, I'm going off screen. But the shell, if you get paint on the shell, you'll have to take it off with some, nail polish remover or acetone or something. So just be careful not to get it on the shell. If you get paint on your pearls, it's even harder because you can't go off and take paint off with acetone off of a pearl, or else it'll take off the finish of the pearl. If they're plastic or glass pearls, that will happen to both of them. Unless they're real pearls, it will take off the finish. So just be careful not to get your paint on your pearls. So afterwards, you go back with your bronze color or whatever metal color you're going with. I like something that's like a really dark looking bronze. And you paint that over all the high areas and into the cracks to make it look like it's metal. And if you have a little bit of black showing, that's fine, because metal has that sort of black undertone to it. So if you have all these details, take a tiny brush, get into all the details. Don't brush your pearls, and then go back and kind of brush it off with your wet wipe or your wet cloth off of the high areas. And as you can see here, I don't think I did an undercoat of black paint because it was so detailed, but that's okay because I'm going to cover it with the bronze color anyway on most of it. If there's any little bits of plastic, just pull them off. Any little spiderweb things, make sure you get those off before you finish your painting. Alright, so just rubbing that off, and then the last one, we're getting our gold paint covered on the top. And you just don't want too much paint on your paintbrush when you cover the tops of the high parts of the glue with the golden paint, because if you have a ton of it on your brush, then it will get into the cracks and cover up all that oxidation that you painted. So you can see here I got some of the blue on those shells, so I'm going to have to go back with a Q-tip and erase that later, so just be careful of that so that you can save yourself time. This is what my kitchen looks like when I'm in complete wand making mode. It's kind of funny. Well, I hope you were able to learn something about wand making and painting wands that you didn't know before. And if you have any questions, I would love to help you. Just comment, and I will come back and reply to your comments to help. And you might be able to learn some more from watching some of the other wand making videos that I've posted here. I'll leave a link to them on the side. And if you want to learn more about other crafts that I'll be doing in the future, most of them will be magical themed type stuff. I'm going to be doing a lot more jewelry making, and even covering some of these wands with real copper soon, which is going to be pretty incredible. So just subscribe and hit the bell button so that you can be notified, because I don't do once a week posts. These are kind of sporadic, so if you want to be notified when they're up, just hit the bell button. And thank you again so much for coming to my channel, and I hope you have a great summer. Bye.